Good morning. Welcome and welcome back. It's Judy from Thistledew Creations, and today I'm going to work a little bit on this little paper bag journal that I started a while back. I had done this one off camera while I was watching TV actually. And what it is it's the bottom of a paper bag creates the cover. So you can see the folds of the bottom of the bag there. And then I just used the body of the bag to make the pages. So I started on this one on camera with you, so I thought I would play with it a bit today. Now I stuck some scraps in here. I guess they're scraps from the cover, in case I wanted to use them inside the journal somewhere. So I just did a little collage on the bottom of a paper bag and left the ends open so I can put some, they'll have to be triangular tags in the ends, which could be fun. Let's maybe work on those today. Let's see how far in they will go. So about 3.5 inches. I think I'm going to start with an index card. I've never really done much with index cards. So these ones are 4 inches. And let me just see here. If I were to stick it all the way into that point, it would bring me to there. So I could cut it off there and add a tab, and then probably get another one for the other side out of it. So let's just draw that line. And cut it. And of course, you could just use your scissors to cut it. So now that is going to go in there. And then if I added a whale tail tab or something like that on the edge of it, doesn't really matter where. That's going to put it right there. And then there is room for another one on the other side of this little fold. So let's see if this one will work. The offcut. And I think it will. Doesn't seem to want to go in quite as far. Maybe I'll just trim it. Just like 1/8 of an inch off of it. I really just want the tab sticking out. And then for this one, I'll do the tab. Move it over. To about there. First day off in about 2 weeks, because last week I was getting ready for our family reunion that I decided to host. I decided 25 years ago to host this family reunion because we did a time capsule in the year 2000 to be opened in the year 2025. And I was really excited about it. Most people in the family did bring something to put in the time capsule, so that made me very happy. Sometimes they can be a little bit of party poopers. But everyone that could showed up. Some of them are too far away and they had just been here. So we had a good time. I planned some games for the kids and the big kids too. We did three-legged race where you two people tie their legs together and we race. So you're racing in pairs. And then we did the sack race where we got some feed sacks from one of our clients and friends. Priscilla has chickens and animals on her farm, so she provided some feed sacks for us. She even re-sewed the bottoms of them so that they would be a little bit taller and work for the adults. And that was a lot of fun. I have to give credit to Jeremy, who I think was the highest jumper of the day. In the pictures anyway, he looks like he's jumping about 2 feet off the ground. So that was fun. And then we did a water balloon toss where you start, I filled up, well, I had a package of 100 water balloons. Some of them broke on me, but I filled them all. And what you do is you start in a line facing your partner very close, so you can just pass the water balloon back and forth when you first start. And then you if you pass it back and forth without dropping it and breaking it, then you take a step backwards. Each person takes a step backwards away from each other, and then you throw it again. And you keep doing that until the water balloon breaks. Even if you drop it, you can keep going. At least that's the way we play. And we didn't have prizes or anything. We were just playing for fun. And I honestly do believe, from the squeals and laughter and the pictures afterwards, that everyone had fun doing it. We got to be silly for a change, which we don't often get to do anymore. So there's 2 of those. And then there's the same thing in the other end of the book. So I'm going to make 2 more of them. I'm just going to mark them on here. So everyone had fun, and there's lots of great pictures. And then we had a meal, potluck meal, and then campfire with s'mores and glow bracelets for the kids and sparklers for the kids. So, I had all the fun things that I would want the kids to have the experience of that we had when we were kids. And because of the pandemic, we haven't been getting together the way that we used to before. So it was a really, really good. We got to get to know the kids that we didn't really get to know at all because of the pandemic. We only saw them. They live within 5 miles, but we only see them rarely, because of just everyone being so busy and that sort of thing. So it was very good to get together and just play and have fun. I think that everyone had fun, so I was very happy that it turned out well. And we even had some cousins visit that were not part of the original 5 siblings. They were like their cousins, so they visited, and they had never been to our house, so in 25 years that we've lived here. So that was kind of cool to see them come out and see our place and play with us and watch us play and join the festivities. It was all fun. It was very heartwarming, you might say. So last Thursday, when I would normally be crafting, my husband also took Thursday off so that we could get the garage cleaned out. We had our food set up in the garage where it was cooler. And we have a big fridge in the garage, so we could put all the food out there. No one had to be in the house because it was supposed to be an outdoor party. We even rented a Johnny on the spot, a wheelchair accessible for the older folks. So all around, it was a very good day and worth missing the crafting for 1 week. So that's why I'm starting off with something, just letting my mind wander and do something here that will get me warmed up for the day. I do have the day to myself today, so I just kind of wanted to do something fun. I feel like I need to trim that one more. Let me just test it here. Yep. Yeah, so I've got lots of great pictures, and a few months ago I started a Facebook page, like a private Facebook page for the family. And so I'll get those pictures edited and post them on the page for everyone to enjoy. And hopefully other people who were also taking photos that day will share them on the group as well. And then the new we did another time capsule, again, to be opened in 2050. So in the year 2000, when we did the first one, Brian's mom was 60. And she's now 85. And in 2050, I'm now 59. So in 2050, I'll be 84. There's a few people older than me in the family group that will be in their 80s as well. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of shape we're in when we're that old, and whether we're all still around. We were very lucky in the past 25 years to not lose anybody. We lost one person to a divorce, but nobody died. So it was a good 25 years. We don't expect to get through the next 25 years without losing somebody, because Grandma's 85, so. And we don't know, the McLaren men don't have a good track record, dying young, so we will see. I've been on a bit of a health kick to try to get myself in better shape so that I can make it to my 80s. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do with these. They're still kind of plain, and this is not a plain book. So let's start with some stenciling, I think. I feel like stenciling today, or stamping maybe. I've got stamps close by. And my favorite background stamps, and then I want to try my new rose stamp. And I've got some perfect stamps for the rose stamp. The distress inks that Wanda sent me, Victorian Velvet, worn lipstick, and peeled paint. And then my favorite background stamp is the one that looks like typewriter writing from this set. And then the music and the script. Oh, excuse me. A little bit of a hiccup there. So for the background, I think I'm going to do it in the, let's try one with the vintage photo with the ABCs. This is a bit of a warm-up for a project I have to do for my niece. She asked me if I would do table numbers for her wedding reception. So of course I said yes. I'm happy to do whatever I can to help with her wedding plans. And we decided on, well, it was my idea, but she seemed to like the idea, to do stenciled and stamped numbers in the background in a paler shade, and then the number of the table in a large, I'm going to try to find a fancy script, stencil or something to do the number in a large font for the table numbers. And then we've got little photo frames to stand them in from the Dollar Tree or Dollarama, 4x6 frames with silver frames. We've got some horizontal and some vertical ones. So there's 15 tables, I believe. So the 2 number ones will go on the horizontal cards. I think that'll work best. And then I'm going to switch to, sorry, I keep changing conversations on you. I'm going to switch to the ground espresso for the script. So I'm kind of just playing around with the colors here to see what's going to look good for a background. She got me some green inks to use for hers because she's a green person. I'm thinking some of them might be a little too dark for what I've got in my brain. I might use the vintage photo in behind. I'm going to do some samples for her so she can see, of course. I'm just going to see how that stamp didn't stamp right. I'm going to put this foam underneath and see if that helps. It's a trick that I saw on YouTube. I'll try this one again. I'm just going to move it a bit. That worked a little better. I think it needs a little more cush. I'm not sure why, but I guess it just helps the stamp to press down everywhere if it's not up against a hard surface. It seems to work whenever I've done it before. I like doing the combination of the different background stamps. And using the archival ink, I can pretty much do anything I want over top of it. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to the music, which I'll use black. Because to me that just makes sense that the music be in black. Almost always when you see music paper, the type is in black. I mean, most books typed in black. Certainly not all, but most. And it looks kind of faint, but I think that's okay. And then the back I'm going to leave, I could have done this on the back side and left the lines for writing on, but it's done now. So if you're going to do this, think about that, whether you would rather have the lines for writing and the plain side for decorating. I just went ahead and started on the line side. I don't know why. 2 done. One more here, 2 more. And I'm not even inking up the whole stamp, just the top section of it. I want this to go right onto the tab because I want to decorate them at the same time. And I don't mind going sideways, but I don't like going on a diagonal, even though we have a diagonal cut on this one. There. So that's that step done. Now let's play with these stamps. So this is an outline stamp and a color it in stamp. I believe that's what it is. I picked these up at the thrift store Tuesday when I was in at my dad's. So I'd like to do this in the 2 colors. And this is going to be hard to line up. So I'll get the green on the leaves. I'm just being careful to just get it on the leaves. And then let's try worn lipstick. So this is the color it in stamp. Ooh, this one's loose from its container. So let's do this sort of right here. And then I guess black to outline. And I guess really when you think about it, if it's not lined up perfectly, it just adds to the whimsy. At least that's what we're going with. We'll see how we do. Yeah, and it's not lined up perfectly, but I think it's okay. It's hard to line them up on a stamp like this. Now, if I took them off the block, I could use my stamping liner-upper thingy, for lack of better words. I think I'm not done decorating, but I'm going to go ahead and do these. Now let's just go ahead and try it the other way around with the, actually I think the detail one should go second, but trying to get just where the leaves are. That color of pink is just perfect with the other shades of pink that are on the outside of the cover. I'm just kind of trying to line up the leaves because I can just barely see. Oh, works out okay both ways. I don't see any difference really. Which one you do first? I'm glad I picked up this little stamp. It's cute. I think what I'll do is just stamp a bunch of them on book page and then do some watercoloring or coloring in. I'm going to just stamp the whole thing with the pink because I just did. And then I'm going to just go over the leaves. Maybe even just the tips of the leaves in green would be fine. Oh, that one turned out really good. I'm getting better as I go. One more. I'll outline first. Yeah, that's a sweet little stamp. And I guess I'm kind of doing the same way that I collage. I'm kind of stamping it where three things come together. I don't know why, but I do that. There. So that's that little part of the project. And then I think some other types of embellishments maybe. What have I got? We've already got a flower on there, so obviously the next thing you're going to want is some lace. Was there any lace on here? Yeah, there was white doily on there. So I'm going to get into my white doily drawer. Sorry about the squeak. And what I usually do is cut them in quarters, usually with my ripple scissors. Which I have many versions of, but let's try these ones. So I'll just cut it in quarters. Quarters might even be too big. I think I'm going to do like little pie shapes. I can have that. Actually, I could have it going off the page. I don't need that solid part, just the lacy part. It might have made sense to put this down first. I think I'll just do like this. Just ink the very tips of it. And then what I often do with these is just put down some glue stick where I want it. And then just a couple of little dabs of whatever glue, like this, either the tacky glue or this is the 3-in-1. Just in a few key places so that it doesn't lift. And just a small amount. So a little hard to see, but still wouldn't be the same without it, kind of thing. Put this one right here. Oh, I didn't ink. I should have inked first. This is something I sometimes do in front of the TV, is just cut doilies and ink them. It makes it quicker when it's time to craft. And maybe I've got a bird on the outside, but it's a specific style of bird, and I don't think I have any more of them. He's this little plump little wren, I guess you would say. I don't think I have any more of him, but I could see about a bird. Or maybe some bees. I love bees too, bees and dragonflies. And one more. doily bit. Oops. I'm getting myself mixed up here with my black and my vintage photo. Put my black away. And where do I want to put this one? I think there's a blank space right here. I'm going to fill my bottle up a bit. It's keeping me waiting. Keep it sideways for a bit. Okay, so that has a little bit of black on that one, but that's okay. It's all okay. And then what else? I think maybe some lace along this top edge would be cute. So let's get into our lace drawer and see what we have. Maybe this gold, no, this stuff with the, I did this with the avocado dye. It's a subtle pink. And what I could do is have it on the back side, peeking out, and then it provides a little bit of decoration on the back side. In fact, I could leave it as a bit of a tuck spot on the back side. So I'll put it about halfway on, and I don't mind that it's sort of interfering with the tab. And go right across it. Oops. Just set that down into the glue. See, I did leave it up a little bit on this edge. I don't think it's going to serve as much of a tuck spot, but it's not stiff enough. And then I'll cut this off on the same angle. I might have to nip this, but I'm going to do that later if it needs it. This is already cut on an angle, so I'm going to start it at this end. Move it while it's still wet. And this just needs a slight trim. Actually, I could just let it be wispy there. Don't mind a little bit of wispy as long as it doesn't get in the way of it going in and out of the pocket. Yeah, that's really pretty, isn't it? Really, really pretty. And that one's going to be too short, so it can go back in the drawer. Go. That was a little triangle go. Gone forever. Okay, so let's go back to this first one. There's that triangle. And see how these fit in. Adds a nice little whimsical detail, and I think I will cut those off. In fact, I think I'll cut them not straight in, but on an angle this way. And that way, when it goes in, where am I here? It doesn't, it's just kind of well-rounded, I guess you would say. Well-angled. So this is almost going to be like a funky tag storage book, because I'm going to have these four, and then I have room in here for rectangular ones on both sides. So there's going to be quite a few tags as well as the pages. It's going to be a fun book. So if anyone's making one along with me, I would love it if you would post your creations on the Thistledew Creations group. It's always fun to see what other people make with your ideas. There we go. So some tabs and some lace added to the edge of the journal. This one didn't have that, but I haven't done those tags yet, so maybe I'll do some more and fill that up. So we'll do some rectangular tags for in here in the next video. And then maybe we'll do another video showing the pages. I did show that in another video, so I don't really need to do that because I showed putting these pages in. So I'm kind of working on 2 books in one video series, and at the end of it, I'll have 2 books. You just won't see me do both things to both books, if that makes sense. I'm kind of working out what I'm going to do. On this one, I worked out what I was going to do off video for the cover. And then I did the pages on video. So now we've done some triangular tags. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Most of all, have a great day and happy crafting.